in the Bay. It's a new franchise. Season tickets were sold out immediately. I've heard home games are insane.
They are.
The owners have come out. They said a chip within the first 5 years. So the expectations are high. But like you said, it was an opportunity to make a team and you did. So what has that excitement of a new franchise been like?
It's been awesome.
It's gotta be insane.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Like the fans really are so loud. Yeah, it has been awesome in Chase Center. And they've been sticking with it the whole game. Like when we were losing to LA the first game, they stayed the entire time and they cheered us on from the first minute to the last minute. And so that means a lot as a team. Like seeing your fans stay and cheer for you. They were invested. It was just really cool. And like you see people in the Bay Area just wearing Valkyries gear all the time. Cool to be part of that history, a part of something so new. And we obviously know it's going to be like a huge learning year for us, but I'm grateful to do it with all of the girls on this roster.
That's the sound of a dream dying. That's the sound of an athlete admitting that the system finally broke her. Rejection, failure, those are Kate Martin's words, not mine. And she's not talking about missing a shot or losing a game. She's talking about what the Las Vegas Aces did to her. They took a champion from Iowa, a fan favorite, a marketing goldmine, and systematically tried to erase her from the league. But they made one mistake. They forgot about her one lifeline. Tonight we're revealing the story. They don't want you to know the details of the desperate, career-saving phone call to Caitlin Clark that exposed the truth behind Kate's escape from Vegas. This wasn't a roster move, it was a rescue mission. And the evidence we've uncovered will change how you see the defending champs forever. To understand the betrayal, you have to understand what they had. Iowa basketball was nothing before Caitlin Clark and Kate Martin turned it into the center of the sports universe. We all saw Caitlin's logo threes, but we missed the real story. Kate Martin wasn't just a teammate, she was the engine that made the whole thing run. She was the glue. But don't take my word for it. Listen to Kate herself describe what it was like when Caitlin first walked into that gym.
I feel like your two Iowa teams left a mark on women's college basketball, but also women's basketball at large. Is that like kind of crazy to think about? Like you were a part of something that was a catalyst.
Yeah, I had heard about this Caitlin Clark and I was like watching videos of her just like having like 40 points, like averaging a million in high school. And I was like, oh, this girl thinks she's gonna come here and rule the world, you know, like whatever. It's gonna be, you know, whatever. And there she did, came in right away and ruled the world. And I was like, all right, here we go.
She came in right away and ruled the world. That's not jealousy, it's respect. But it's also the key to their entire dynamic. Kate understood she was dealing with a generational talent, a force of nature. And while everyone else was blinded by the spotlight, Kate was figuring out how to manage the fire. In their final season at Iowa, while Clark was breaking every record known to man, Kate was averaging an incredible 13.1 points and 6.8 rebounds per game. Those are not sidekick numbers. Those are the numbers of a co-star who understood her role perfectly. But her most important role wasn't on the stat sheet. It was inside Caitlin Clark's head. The public saw the intensity, but inside the locker room they saw a player who needed to be managed, and Kate was the only one who could do it. She built what she calls relationship equity. Think about what that means. Look me in the eyes. Deep breath. It's all going to be okay. That was Kate's job. She was the calming presence, the trusted voice that could get through to a superstar operating on a different wavelength. She earned that trust because Caitlin saw her putting in the work. And more importantly, Caitlin saw a killer instinct that matched her own. We've all heard stories about legendary practice players, but what Kate describes isn't just practice, it's war.
I just remember you have that summer before, and she was doing things that I had never seen anybody do before. And as a freshman to come in and have that kind of confidence, like not everybody has that. Like I was like, oh, I haven't really seen anything like this. And so we knew she was going to be outstanding. And then, at the beginning of the year, we had some big wins, and there was highs and lows that year for sure. But, it took us a little bit to figure it out. But it obviously turned out better than I could have ever expected or thought.
Real quick, what did you notice about Caitlin's work ethic?
Yeah.
Was there anything that stood out?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she was in the gym constantly. Yeah. And it was the way she approached everything too was it was with a sort of excellence. It wasn't I'm just going to go through the motions and whatever. It was no, I'm here to kick your butt in every single drill, every single practice, and especially whenever our gray squad guys were playing against us, it was if you're across from me, you're my enemy, And I think that's just kind of how you have to approach things to get better. And she had that, next level mindset, and it really just raised us all.
If you're across from me, you're my enemy. That's the mentality that took them to back-to-back Final Fours. That's the fire that allowed them to do the impossible, like taking down the undefeated, seemingly invincible South Carolina Gamecocks. That was supposed to be Kate's career highlight, the moment that proved their partnership could conquer anything. But it turns out, that victory was a lie. Not the win itself, but the belief it gave Kate. The belief that her talent, her IQ, her role as the perfect complement to a superstar would mean something in the WNBA. She was wrong, dead wrong. When she got to Las Vegas, she didn't just learn that the professional game was harder. She learned that everything she had accomplished, everything she had built, meant absolutely nothing to the Aces. The story they'll tell you is that Kate Martin was a rookie who just couldn't adjust to the pros. It's a convenient lie. The truth is much darker. This wasn't a failure to adjust. This was a systematic dismantling of a player's career. Let's look at the evidence, because the numbers don't lie. In May, Kate was playing around 20 minutes per game. By September, that number had been slashed almost in half, down to a devastating 11.5 minutes. This wasn't a slump. This was a message. This was deliberate marginalization. And when the playoffs arrived, the message became an execution. Across 6 playoff games, Kate Martin played a total of 3 minutes. 3. That's not giving a rookie a chance to develop. That's burying her so deep on the bench, she'd forget how to play. Sources close to the team reported that Martin was seen crying after Las Vegas Aces' decision about her role, completely devastated by the situation. Her confidence was shattered.
Curious, so now that you are into your second year, what do you think, what makes the WNBA so difficult to play in?
Man, I mean, I just think the physicality, speed, smart players, really smart players, and people who have been around for so long, honestly. I mean, I'm just thinking back to New York. They're massive. They are, they're very, very, very good. A lot of these people have been playing professional basketball for a very long time. Scoring is not easy. People who average however many points, it's honestly so impressive. I've never been more impressed by basketball than now. Basketball is a simple game, but that doesn't mean it's easy. It's an easy game. But yeah, people work really hard. They are long, they're big, they're fast, they're physical. So me just having to learn how to be patient, play off of 2 feet, play in control. That is something, I'm still working on, because sometimes you're trying to do the right thing always and make the right read, but then you forget hey, just go play basketball.
I've never been more impressed by basketball than now. You can hear the defeat in her voice. The physicality, the speed, the intelligence of the WNBA. It was overwhelming her. But was she really overwhelmed by the game? Or was she being crushed by an organization that never wanted her in the first place? Multiple sources inside the WNBA media landscape started reporting on personality clashes behind the scenes. The whispers were all about coach Becky Hammon, who had Martin on an increasingly short leash. Fans on Reddit threads noted Martin's visible anxiety about even checking into games, terrified of being yanked for one mistake under Hammond's unpredictable substitution patterns. This isn't just speculation. We have to look at the context. This was all happening while Coach Hammond and the Aces organization were facing federal discrimination lawsuits from former player Dereka Hamby. That lawsuit created a culture of fear, where questioning a coach's decisions could be career suicide. Was Kate Martin just another victim of that toxic culture? Was she being punished for not fitting into a rigid, unforgiving system? The organization wanted her to fail, and they were giving her every opportunity to do so. But here is where the story takes a turn. Here is where the official narrative completely falls apart. If Kate Martin was just a rookie who couldn't cut it, then why was she one of the most popular players in the entire league? During her rookie season, while she was barely playing, Kate Martin was top 5 in the entire WNBA in jersey sales. Let me repeat that. She was selling more merchandise than almost anyone else in the league. She was even outselling the face of the Las Vegas Aces, their 3-time MVP, Aja Wilson. So I ask you, what is going on here? You have a player who fans are desperate to support, a walking marketing opportunity, and you're chaining her to the bench. It makes no sense. Unless it's not about basketball, unless it's not about business, it's about control. It's about protecting an established hierarchy and suppressing a new star who was getting too popular, too fast. The moment the truth was exposed was the expansion draft. When the Golden State Valkyries selected Kate Martin, the reaction from the Aces wasn't quiet disappointment. It was a full-blown social media meltdown. Aja Wilson's first post was a censored expletive, followed by, "Y'all wanted this expansion so bad, now look, my baby Rook gone." The locker room was reportedly losing their minds. On the surface it looks like love. It looks like teammates who are devastated to lose their friend. But look closer. Aja's use of "my baby Rook" is incredibly revealing. It's possessive. Sources have indicated that Wilson now appears to hold resentment toward Kate, viewing her actions as a betrayal. Was Aja's protection in Vegas actually a cage? Was she the leader of a veteran-dominated culture that refused to make room for a new fan favorite? The Aces didn't want to just keep Kate Martin on the bench. They wanted to own her, and when they couldn't, they let her go, thinking her career would fizzle out. They were about to find out how wrong they were. At her absolute lowest point, sitting on that bench, watching her dream die, Kate Martin made a call. It wasn't to her agent. It wasn't to her family. She made a desperate call to the one person on earth who understood her value, because she had helped create it, Caitlin Clark. This wasn't just a friendly check-in. This was a career-saving intervention. We've learned from sources what was said on that call, as Kate explained how her minutes were disappearing, how her confidence was gone. Caitlin didn't offer generic encouragement. She delivered a brutal diagnosis of the situation. She told Kate her problem had nothing to do with basketball. Her problem was being in an organization that couldn't see her value. According to transcripts of the conversation, Caitlin saw a player who was being wasted in the wrong system. That one sentence changed everything. It gave Kate permission to stop blaming herself and start blaming the toxic environment she was trapped in. It was the moment she realized this wasn't just a bad fit, it was a dead end, and Caitlin was offering her a way out. When the expansion draft came, Kate knew she likely wouldn't be protected, but hearing Caitlin's validation gave her the strength to face it. Still, the team didn't even have the decency to tell her to her face. They kept players in the dark. A cruel psychological game. It's a business. You hear that? That's the voice of someone who has been beaten down, forced to accept the cold, hard reality of her situation. She was just a contract, a number, an asset they chose not to protect. That's when the cameras turn off. That's when the real pain hits. This is the moment she finally admitted how much it hurt, how the Aces' decision made her feel.
In the Bay, it's a new franchise. season tickets were sold out immediately. I've heard home games are insane.
They are.
The owners have come out. They said a chip within the first 5 years. So the expectations are high. But like you said, it was an opportunity to make a team, and you did. So what has that excitement of a new franchise been like?
It's been awesome.
It's got to be insane.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Like, the fans really are so loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has been awesome in Chase Center. And they've been sticking with it the whole game. Like, when we were losing to LA the first game, they stayed the entire time and they cheered us on from the first minute to the last minute. And so that means a lot as a team.
Yeah.
Like, seeing your fans stay and cheer for you. They were invested. It was just really cool. And like, you see people in the Bay Area just wearing Valkyries gear all the time. Cool to be part of that history, a part of something so new. And we obviously know it's going to be like a huge learning year for us, but I'm grateful to do it with all of the girls on this roster.
It kind of feels like a failure, or like rejection, maybe is a better word. That is the entire story. The Las Vegas Aces, the champions, the dynasty, took a player with immeasurable potential and made her feel like a failure. They rejected a player who fans adored, a player whose best friend is the biggest star in the sport, and a player who knew how to win. They did it because they couldn't control her popularity, and it threatened them. But that phone call from Caitlin Clark had already planted the seed of a new beginning. Being rejected by the Aces wasn't the end. It was the escape. Her selection by the Golden State Valkyries wasn't just a second chance. It was a liberation. I'm really excited. This league is all about opportunity, and you just need one shot right. Kate said after being picked. The relief in her voice was deafening. Now she's in Golden State, and it's a different world. The coach, Natalie Nakase, who worked with Kate in Vegas, immediately saw what Becky Hammon refused to. She's a player who loves to do the dirty work that never shows up on the stat sheet. They didn't offer her a spot at the end of the bench. They made her a foundational piece of a new franchise. The fans in the Bay Area have embraced her, giving her the loudest cheers, proving what Vegas management never understood. She's playing more minutes. Her stats are nearly double what they were in Vegas, and most importantly, she's playing with joy again. But this story isn't over. It's just beginning. Kate Martin's escape is proof that a single phone call can change everything. But it also leaves us with a terrifying, unanswered question. If the Aces were willing to do this to a popular, talented rookie like Kate Martin, who else have they destroyed? What other secrets are still buried in that Las Vegas locker room? Kate got out, but the toxic system that almost ended her career is still there, and we're going to find out what else they're hiding.